What's going on? It's Butler. It's the best day of my life. I need a tagline. My tagline gonna be let the Lord use you. Let the Lord use you. Yeah. Hey man, so I be posting all types of random stuff like work stuff, anger management stuff, pardons, trying to save the world, trying to save the Dolphins. But you know what I get the most response out of? I get the most response out of rape, or great, you can't say the R word, or some gay stuff, some homosexuality and racism. It's like that's what all I'm looking at the analytics of everything that's going on. So I'm gonna touch on some stuff only because I received comments and questions about certain things. Like one guy was saying that, well, everybody gets straight in prison. It's just situational homosexuality. Hey man, I can't knock no definition that a person is given, or whatever title you put on, whatever you choose to do. In my personal opinion, that's what you choose to do. But what I will say is that also this side note, go back, side note, a lot of people are saying on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube that if you get raped, you're not being forced into homosexuality, or in general, you can't be forced into homosexuality. And what I'm here to tell you is that that is false. Because a lot of people seem to think that God spread the sky with not his spiritual hand, but with his physical hand, and just made everybody who is a homosexual. And I vehemently disagree with that. Here's why. I have been around situations where an heterosexual was an heterosexual. And because he displayed elements that were perceived to be weak by his stronger counterparts, they took advantage of that. Because he was doing too much and he wasn't on his square, they took advantage of that. Whether they talked him about his ass or if they graped him, minus the G. I guess you're not supposed to say the R word. So it's like if a guy comes in and he's not really up on himself, and he has the tendencies of not a homosexual, but he has the tendencies of somebody who is just not as strong as those whom he's around. People take advantage of that. And it's not just in there. From a psychological perspective, anytime a person is subjected, a person is just not smart enough and not strong enough in this world, in these United States, you get taken advantage of one way or another. When you're in a prison, when you're in a place like that, and you come up weak, you don't have a whole lot of stuff you have out here. You have food, or you got ass, and they'll trick you out of both of them, or they'll take them both. So back to my point. My point was this: is that you can be tricked into homosexuality. You can be forced into homosexuality. My homeboy, my boy, Bill Feasy. What the Feasy? He talked about a story with this guy named Blue. I want y'all to go check out Bill Feasy, man. See Bill. He got a story talking about, just a real story about Blue, how he was forced into homosexuality, man. If I'm learning how to do this, I think I'll try to leave a link in the bio. But I have been around guys that, man, they were just weak. I ain't gonna even say they was weak. I'm just saying they weren't as strong as the people that were around them, or they weren't as ferocious as those guys. And I've seen it take place on both ends, where at Alto, if you were raping somebody or graping somebody, there was like this unspoken word that you were strong, like you was a warrior, like you're a hunter-gatherer. And I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm telling you what the law of the land was. They were just like, to me, you was a homosexual. And it is what it is. And that was what it was. But you had people that would rape other men, and they wouldn't consider themselves to be homosexuals. And I guess, according to today's standards, they didn't identify as homosexual. So I guess you couldn't That if we being politically correct. But anyway, so I'm saying that, yeah, you can be forced into homosexuality. A lot of times, people are treated a certain kind of way. I'm talking about in the system. People are treated a certain kind of way, and then they're, what's the word I'm looking for? The word I'm looking for is they're groomed. They're groomed to be a certain way, and it ends up being part of their lifestyle, man. So hit me in the comments. I'm responding to them. I would like to elaborate on this, but let's talk about something else. Let the Lord use you. My nigga.